What's up, guys? This is your young neighborhood planter back, and I just want to show you guys how we provide our own vegetables, and we only have not even 1/4 of an acre, and we grow our own vegetables. So I just want to show you guys how we do that. And right now I'm just going through the onions, cutting the ones that's bending over like that. You want to cut off, just cutting those, and the very dead ones at the bottom, so they can be healthier and prettier. All right, guys, now that I cleaned these up somewhere, I got all the dead leaves. I'll go throw these in the compost. And now what I do here is I just look through the onions, and any like ones that look like these, because these, we're actually getting close to harvest for these, and I'll make a video of harvesting them for you guys too. But we got these onions right here, and we have these ones over here, and these ones we grew ourselves from seed. And we bought those when they were like, they already had like little tiny bulbs on them, and I think we're better off on this little property with growing those ones over there that already come with little bulbs, and you just plant them in the dirt. Then these right here, these ain't, I don't know if these are just younger or what, but they're not doing as good as those. And you see that here, you know, the bulbs is just not as big as the ones over there. And these were just, this was just a spot where we didn't have nothing, so I just came in here and threw some lettuce, some Swiss chard, and kale, and it looks like it's growing pretty good. Got bigger since I put it there. And so yeah, I just come through here and I'll pull out ones like this that look very dead and don't look good. You just come and pull it right up out the dirt like that. Shake a little bit of dirt off of there. And we'll use this nice, ooh, this is a good size onion. We'll use this tonight. I'll throw that in there. No, I won't throw it in the compost. I'll be sure to save it. And you just want to come through. And guys, this is a disease, but it's okay. It's common for these onions right here in this bed. They all got it. See? And it's just doing just fine. But yeah, guys, this is amazing. We like, you can eat so good, and the flavors from growing your own food tastes way better than out the store. But I'm finna get into how big is our actual property here in a minute, and just show you guys what all we grow after I handle these onions. So it just goes like that, and I think we're gonna pull this one up right here. It's done started bending at the root right here, so it's not gonna grow no more after that. So we're just gonna go and pull that nice purple onion right up out of there, and that'd be nice to use in the garden too. Let me see if I can get a thumbnail real quick. Found that fork I was looking for that I couldn't find. Literally, we got everything we need for our garden right on our property here. And trust me, this is not a big property at all. I'm gonna keep repeating that because there's no excuse why you can't grow your own food if you have the room to. We're gonna go set these in the outside refrigerator for my dad to see. We have yellow onion. Sorry guys, I told you I'm new to this YouTube, so I gotta get good at the angles. Yellow onion and a purple onion. And my dad needs to do the research on how to cure them, so they can be good. They can last longer for kitchen use. Alright, so guys, I'm just gonna show you the whole property, and I guess I'll start in the front yard, and I'll see you guys there. Okay guys, we're in the front yard now. Guys, I just want you to see this. We live in an urban neighborhood, and this is our house, and we grow our own food. Now, this is the front garden bed. Total in beds we have, let's see, we have about 6 or 7 total garden beds, and it's not a lot of room, guys. Look, we could have planted more beds up here. We literally use all our space. We could have planted more beds up here, but what we did with this bed last year, we grew some pumpkins out of the bed and let them come all the way out here, and they did really good. We got about 20 pumpkins last year, but we didn't grow none this year. They're a lot of work. In the front bed, we grew some bean plants. These are bean bushes. Forgot what type of beans they were. You probably got, I think there's regular beans. Probably gotta ask my dad. These are really his plants, but we got these from M.I. Gardener, and they're doing pretty good. And then we got some what is this here? I think this is the zebra zucchini. We have 6 of those, and then right here we plan on putting 2 watermelons and letting them go out this year like we did the pumpkins last year. And guys, this is literally I think this is a 4x32 bed right here. 4x32 feet bed, and 32 feet, I mean not 32 feet guys, I'm sorry, 4x16. And I mean, this is the least some people could do. I mean, there's 3 different ways of growing. You can grow in the natural dirt. You can tilt this up, grow in this. You can grow in your garden bed, or you can get some pots and grow in them. So from right there, that's the front bed, front garden bed. From right there, you walk from right there to here, and this is the side of the house. Now right here we have a 2 by 32, I think, 2 foot by 32 foot bed connected that we built right on our house. Now when we move away from this house, we're gonna keep this one here because we're just gonna leave it here for somebody. And we made this dirt up out of clay and wood chips and sand and a little bit of peat moss. In this bed we grow, what is this? Kale and Swiss chard. And these things were looking so bad, guys. I wish you guys could have seen them. When we first put them in here for about the first week, they were looking so bad. I'm so proud of these things. They came and took off for us, and they're just doing real good. I don't know what this is. They're just doing real good though, since we put them in here. Really good. And we're gonna plant some lettuce right here on the end of the bed. That's why we didn't make the holes yet. We're gonna plant some lettuce. And right across from this bed is the amazing bed that I built for my market gardening. This is a 3 by 32 bed also. Guys, I think I'm mistaken. I think this one is not 32 feet long. I think it's shorter because putting it next to this one looks way smaller, but this, I'm for sure this is 3 by 32, man. This is my marketing bed that I have covered up right now. I just built this about a week ago, and I built it literally in the middle of my property. Not in the middle, but in the middle of nowhere. Like, I just threw a bed there. We're not using it. This spot's to get good sunlight, and this is gonna be my marketing bed for my amazing tasting, loving turnips that I like to grow. And it's gonna be a marketing bed, and this bed can hold about 500 turnip plants, and that's what it's gonna do for me. So yeah, that bed right there is gonna hold about 500 turnip plants, and out of those 500, I'm probably gonna keep about 200 for the house, which I'm a big fan of them. I love them. Not a lot of people really have good taste buds and liking turnips, but they say a lot of young people don't like turnips, but I'm only 15 years old and I love them. So yeah, that's not a lot of room. Literally, guys, look, I know the yard is a mess. Look, that's not a lot of room. So from right there on the side of the house, you come to the back of the house. This is the main garden. And the back of the house, it's like a little like a little neighborhood back here. This is not our own property, but this is the main garden. This was eventually all grass, and when we first started gardening, this was the first bed here. This is the first bed ever that we ever built, and then we just fell in love with it, and we came and built more. And back here in the main garden, which we like to call, we have about everything. Oops, I almost fell there, guys. But we got the onions that I just was showing you this video. In the beginning of this video, and we grow those ourselves. And we have some herbs here that we grew ourselves. We actually sell these too. I'm sorry, guys, with my talking. I told you I got to get used to this YouTube stuff. And then up under here are my dad's tomato plants, and this is a perfect example on how to use all your space. He has his tomato plants up under here, and he planted chives up under them. And chives do good under tomato plants. There's a lot of plants that do good under tomatoes, and chives are one of them. So that's an easy way to use all your space. And we planted. This is the second bed. This was originally, guys, look, this was originally one bed too. This little bed from right there to right there where that white PVC pipe is, and so you see the split right there. This was originally one bed. Done. After we fell in love with that one, we built this little one. And we fell in love with that one, we built this one. And then we fell in love with, I just show you guys, this is amazing. So we just grow our own food, and it's really nice. Well, we planted some more onions in here. These were onions we started from seed, as I told you in the beginning of this video. And these are some potatoes we grew in the bed, and they're producing potatoes for us already. So we got potatoes back here also. And this is the bed that's connected to this one after we fell in love with that one. It's all in a row coming from the first bed to the last one, which is not a bed, as you can see. It's natural dirt, which we'll be getting into. And these are our peppers, and we have about every type of pepper in here that you can imagine, because actually what happened was I lost the tags. This was my fault, not my dad's. As I told you again, we shared a garden. I lost the tags to all the pepper plants, and we don't know which peppers were what. So we actually couldn't make no money off of our peppers this year, because we didn't know what type of peppers we were selling to the community. So we didn't sell any this year. We actually had to give away a lot for free and stuff like that. But this is a bed. This is a, let's see, 16 by 4 or 5 feet bed. I'm guessing 5. And we have, let's see, how many pepper plants can we fit in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times 3, which is 27 pepper plants. Easily 27 pepper plants, all different mixed varieties, jalapenos, green pepper, yellow pepper, and we have this one that produced white peppers. And as you can see, they're flowering for us already, getting ready to put on peppers. And they only been in here for about, I want to say, a month. I'm gonna drop a picture right in this video right here right now, what they look like when we first put them in here. These guys have taken off since we put them in here. And this is the corn that I just planted about a couple weeks ago, and I got some pretty good germination. I'm satisfied. This is my first year growing corn, and I just made this little bed. This is a little bed that you can make even if you don't have a lot of space and you live in an apartment. You can make this little bed like this and put it on your patio. It doesn't have to be connected to the dirt. You can just build it high enough to where it's just dirt and grow something in there. Or if not, you can get pots, what we're gonna get into. Pots are amazing for if you live in an area where you don't have this much land at all and you live in an apartment. Pots are amazing for that. But this is my corn, and they're not doing much yet. They're just little seedlings getting bigger. I actually just thinned them, but obviously I didn't thin them enough, because I have to thin them because I planted so many seeds. But yeah, I'll drop a picture what these look like when I first, well, I didn't actually put these in here, but I'll drop a picture what they look like when they first started popping up, if I have one right now. If I don't have one, then I won't drop one. But yeah. Oh, guys, right now. So that's what those look like before and now they took off. And this is the third garden bed that I want to talk to you guys about. And this is what the third method of growing natural dirt. So there's raised beds, then there's pots, and then there's natural dirt. And I'm gonna start from back here. We have a lot of tomatoes for the market this year. We grew over 50 tomato plants this year, and we actually got some Roma tomatoes coming, which I'm gonna drop another video for you guys about those. And I don't know too much education about this stuff, but I know enough to grow something, as you can see. And yeah, I just like it, and I want more people to get into liking it. I'm only a 15-year-old kid, and I do all this by myself with the help of my father. But this is our natural dirt bed. We tilled this up with a tiller. We had like peat moss, all that good stuff to it, but we didn't really do too much. The pH of the soil was very good, and this soil has a lot of nutrients in it, a lot. So in this dirt bed, we grew more tomato plants. As you can see, we got tomato plants coming all the way down, just right here, mixed up with the garlic that we grew. But this thing right here, oh my gosh, guys, this took off. It took off in this natural dirt, and we didn't even feed it yet. And just the minerals from the dirt and stuff like that makes it take off, guys. It's amazing. These things, the little tomatoes, they took off too. Growing in natural dirt is amazing. You do not have to spend all your money on buying wood to grow stuff. You can easily, I mean, you might have to spend a little, maybe to $100 on a cheap little tiller to till up your dirt, and you know, of course, buy your peat moss and stuff like that and add it to your soil to enrich it. But other than that, you don't have to spend money on wood if you don't have that type of money, and you can just grow in your natural dirt garden. So that's those. And back here we have some golden star squash that we got from Haas, and these took off also. We had these in here for about maybe 3 weeks, maybe less than that. Yeah. And if I have a picture of those, I would drop it in here. So we got tomatoes, yellow star, squash, and we threw some onions in here too. We threw these in here. These were extra that we couldn't fit in the bed, and they starting to become good green onions. They're not getting big bulbs because, like I said, the dirt over here is kind of really tight. It's not loose. But and then here's my dad, elephant garlic, and those are doing very good. And in the back row right here, we just planted these peas in here about a week and a half ago, and they seem to be doing good. They need to start trellising up. They're not trellising. They're not just there yet. They're almost there though. But they're gonna start trellising too. Those are our peas, sweet peas. And then here we have okra, which takes a lot of space to grow. But guys, with the seed packet and stuff like that tells you how to space them out and how to grow them. Sometimes you don't have to do that. That's just a recommended. Well, I don't want to get you guys spacing your stuff too close, but sometimes that's just a recommended what you should space it. We spaced these guys the recommended for how apart they should be from each other, which was about 6 inches, I think, from this plant to that plant of okra. But in row wise, it was about 3 feet. And guys, look, that's not 3 feet, but guess what? We're still gonna get a good harvest with okra. That's another way of using all your space. You can plant things maybe an inch closer than the packet tells you. And this is not really considered a row. This is second method of gardening, which is buckets. So if you live on like an apartment, or even if you just don't want to till up your dirt and you don't want to disturb it because you don't own the property and you don't want to build garden beds, you can go and buy you some pots and some dirt, and this is what you can do. You can make a whole garden out of pots, a pot garden. Yeah. So we grew some potatoes in these pots, and they're not looking as healthy as the ones in the garden bed right there, but they're looking pretty good. We grew some potatoes in here, and I've been digging to try to see if I can find any, but I don't even know if these guys are gonna have a lot of potatoes like the ones in the garden bed. So next year we're gonna grow most of them in the garden bed, not in the pots. But there's a lot of things you can grow in pots. But you can grow potatoes in pots too, don't get me wrong. There's just something we did wrong that we have to figure out why we couldn't get our potatoes to produce for us this year. And in pots at that. And like I said, we love our tomatoes. I grew some more tomatoes. These are all tomatoes that I grew by myself from hand and started. And those ones in a garden bed are also mine. And this one is gonna have so many tomatoes for me. Look at all those buds. It's a whole bunch on there. And so this is the biggest one right here. He was the first one in the pot. He got the biggest pot, put him in the 10-gallon. The other ones got 5, and I think these square ones might be 7 or 6. But yes, I pruned these, and I was gonna prune these 2 bottom leaves off, but they had flowers on them. If they have flowers on them, that means tomatoes might come, so I keep them. And this one's producing tomatoes for me already. He has some nice tomatoes on him. And tomatoes are just an easy plant to grow in pots too. Well, not easy. You do have to keep up with the watering because the dirt can dry out fast in pots. There's a lot of stuff when it comes to pots. There's more work, I would want to say, but it's good. It's fun. It's something that will keep you busy and keep you in the garden. And from pots, you eventually want to go to garden beds. And this one is producing tomatoes for me too. I didn't even see these yet. Oh, it actually has 4 on there. 4. That's good. And this pecan tree in my neighbor's yard is dropping all these flowers, or whatever you want to call these, and I hate them. They're all over here. And that's the pecan tree right there. And these are just my tomato plants in buckets. So that's all 3 methods right there. There's bed, natural dirt, and buckets, and they all come with different expenses. And I tried my best to explain to you guys which method is best for you. If you want to grow in a garden bed and you feel like you have, you don't have to grow in a garden bed, but if you want to and you feel like that's what's best for you, you grow in a garden bed. If you don't have the money for the wood and you just still want to grow stuff, you can even grow in pots, or you can till up some natural dirt like that. And if you don't want to mess up your property by tilling up dirt or putting a big garden bed on it, on the grass, and killing the grass, you can grow in pots. There's no excuse why you can't grow anything. Oh, here's another pot example, something good to grow in pot. This is about the only fruit we grow, because we don't grow no trees yet, but these are strawberries that we grow in pots. And the pots don't even have to be that big. Let me show you guys something else. This is more strawberries, and look at this little pot. And this little strawberry plant, boy, I tell you, it been producing like crazy. Yeah, my little brothers and sisters came and got them all off of here, I see, and ate them. And this is about the only plant we have on our property that stays year long, and we're gonna bring it with us when we get some land. This is a collard green tree. We got 2 of them, and we grew these in pots. They're not in the ground, but these are some pretty big pots. But these leaves are actually edible. You can take these leaves off and eat them, and we haven't ate any yet. We just like to grow them because they're pretty. Kale in the pot, squish chard in the pot, another tomato plant. There's tomatoes everywhere on this property. And this is both kale and squish chard again in a little pot. This is lettuce in the pot. This lettuce is doing very good. That's just like the lettuce that you want to throw on a sandwich. And these are tomato plants that I grow in cups inside the shed. I grow these out from seed, and I sell those actually. Those are the leftover ones. And once again, there goes tomatoes in a pot. And as I mentioned in my other video, we make our own compost on this property, on this small property at that, by ourselves. There's squash in the pot. Yes, you can grow squash in the pot, and you can hook it up to a trellis. And well, not hook it up to a trellis, but put the pot next to a trellis like that one right there, and it would grow up on the trellis. And there go beans in the pot, bush beans in the pot. Actually, I think those are pole beans. I forgot which one they are, but they're my brother's. He's growing that too. He's only 7. There's another tomato plant in the pot. And yeah, guys, there's just a lot you can grow in pots. A lot. And I really want a lot of people to get out there and start growing their own stuff. And there's one more thing I want to show you guys. One last thing. This, you don't have to buy your own seeds. I mean, you do have to buy your own seeds, but you can save your own seeds from your plants if they're heirloom. And heirloom means it's like an old plant, ancient plant that been here for about 50 to 100 years, and the seeds from it are gonna be the same plant if you plant them next year. And if it's not heirloom, then it's a handmade plant. And if you plant the seed again, it's gonna come back a different plant next year. But yeah. And these are herbs. This is we make this little tray to harden our plants. Hardening your plants is when they're babies and you come out here and get them used to the natural light and the wind blowing on them and stuff like that. And these are the same baby lettuce plants that are in that pot over there that took off. And these are some flowers that we got to get planted. Always plant flowers next to whatever you're growing if it needs to be pollinated. The bees will come, pollinate your flowers and your plants. And this is our hardening rack. Now in here is where we start all our seeds off before they come out here. We have a little shed that came with the property, and we hooked some lights up to it, and this is how we grow our stuff. My dad actually has some lettuce growing in here. Lettuce growing in here under the lights, getting ready to go up in outside. Guys, I've got to get used to talking and on camera. And these are, I don't know what these are. These are aroma tomatoes, and I'm making a video about these. And they're not on light right now because seeds don't have to be on the light until they pop up. They still germinate without light. And these are our eggplants that we actually need to get planted. We gotta plant those soon. Those are our eggplants and more lettuce. And that's my little buddy, my little turtle. And I have a couple fish tanks. I'm in the fish tanks too. I used to have a fish tank channel. I'm in the fish tanks too. I have a lot of those. But yeah, this is how we grow them out. And again, if you don't have a nice decent sized shed like this to grow your stuff out in, you don't need to grow your stuff out in there. You can direct seed them, which is putting them straight in the pot, in the ground, in the bed, wherever you're growing, and you can direct seed them. And you can, if you're growing in the bed, you can get some stuff like that we got from Home Depot and cover it up for good germination. Hold on, the car's coming. I think that's a truck. But yeah, you can get that and cover it up with that, and that will keep the humidity and heat in there really good, and get your seeds to germinate good. Or if you're growing in an apartment and you want to grow some pots in your patio, you can grow your seeds inside the house, inside your warm house where it's warm at. They don't need seeds. Listen guys, seeds, they don't need the direct light on them just like that. It's good if you can provide it for them, but they don't need that. They will still grow out in the, you can grow them in your house, and then when they pop up, you can put them outside. They'll still grow. But one problem you might have is when seeds first come out, they're looking for light, and you put them outside, the light, sun is all the way, up in the sky or whatever, and they're gonna grow too tall sometimes, and they'll get leggy. And with leggy plants are not strong, and you have to plant them deep if you can, but leggy plants are not what we want. That's not what we thrive for. But But that's the only problem you might have when growing plants that way. And guys, I think I'm gonna cut the video right here. This is the video came out way longer than I thought it was gonna be. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Peace.